Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Roy's Tie-Dye Sci-Fi Corner. This is episode number 296, and we are having a very special episode tonight, folks. We are going to be talking about Star Trek tonight, and we're going to head it off, kicking it out with the second season episode, Metamorphosis, and then we're going to lead right into the very special Kickstarter that has been going on for the last almost month now, and it is closing out this weekend. And on joining us to discuss Project Galileo 7 is going to be Brian Mix and also Dave Harvey. And also joining me tonight are our special guests from Sci-Fi Distilled, Mike and Marybeth. Welcome, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
Man, that was a mouthful.
A lot of names.
Hey, I just want to welcome everybody out there. Thanks for being out there and joining us. And I want to thank you all for being on as my special guest tonight. So it's great having you all on. And this is really exciting because we're talking about Star Trek. So very, very cool. Hey, and I see Shari's out there. She's saying hello to everybody, just to put that out there. And
yeah.
Also, I see Randy is joining us. Randy Lee, he's joining us from Wisconsin. Hey, Randy. And I see Jack is also joining us. Welcome, Jack.
Nope.
And there'll be more folks coming in as we progress on here. All righty. So with that said, I thought that it would be great to talk about Metamorphosis because it is actually it's the second episode that actually featured the Galileo in Star Trek. If you don't count the Menagerie, but that was technically a star-based shuttlecraft if you want to get technical. So it wasn't the Galileo. And it's definitely a very memorable episode. It's really a love story, but I thought we could just kick it off and, just start talking about it.
Well, the second episode that we actually saw the full size, if you want to call it that,
Yes.
of the shuttle. So even though it's not full size, it's like what 3/4, I think, something like that.
Well, yeah, it's the big one though.
Yeah.
All the other shots were in interior, which is another set, or the model. Right.
Right, and they refer to it as being what a 24-foot shuttlecraft. But what is that? The actual dimensions of the shuttlecraft? Out of curiosity, as far as
Pretty close to that, isn't it, Dave?
22 by 14.
Okay, so it is pretty close. Okay,
Yeah.
Just curious. Yeah, because we got to hear that in what was it in the Menagerie when?
So the full size one might be 24.
Yeah,
sure. Why not? Let's go with that.
Yeah.
That's the consensus.
Yeah, big.
So, and I have some more folks that are joining us too. I see Lou is joining us, and he's joining us from Rhode Island. Just want to make sure I get everybody in here. Hey, Lou, thanks for being out there tonight as well. Okay. So as we start the discussion, Metamorphosis. Brian, I know you have a lot to talk about in regards to this. So I want to start with you in regards to this episode.
I got to sit in on an interview with Ralph Senensky, the director of this episode. Apparently you interviewed him. You told me you interviewed him as well. So you may have some of the same stories that I do. But he talked a lot about how it's a collaboration making an episode and how many things you think are unique to this episode were done by multiple people. The first thing that jumps out is that long shot, and Rizzo knows what I'm talking about. Not when they first land, they cut to not Colby, it's
Zephram
Cochrane, and he's way far away. And then they do a reverse shot, and the shuttle is way far away. Well, that was shot with a there it is. That was shot with a 9mm wide angle lens, because they're really only about 15, 20 feet away from that ship. But because such a wide angle lens, it fisheyes, makes everything in the middle look really far away. And they arranged rocks all around the edges there so you can't see the outside of the stage. And that was Jerry Fierman's idea, to try to give some distance to make it look like he has to cross some space. But if you watch, as the people start walking towards the Galileo, they get really small really fast. And as they're walking away from the Galileo, they start getting really big really fast, because that's the way that the fisheye lens works. So that's the 9mm lens that Jerry Fierman said, you should use this to make it look far away. And then the Sinski cool thing was when he did Is There in Truth No Beauty, he used the same lens for the insanity scene. that famous shot with Kirk's hands out. That that's the same 9mm lens that fisheyes to make people look crazy, or what POV of craziness.
Because Shatner was this close to the lens, you know. So
yeah, he must have been really close. Yeah, to look like that. Yeah,
That's when he says, Spock, you're safe with us, and then he starts attacking him.
They use the same trick in engineering to make engineering. So everybody that comes to the sets, they go, "Is this the right size?"
Yeah.
And we're like, "Yeah, it is," because they always made engineering look so much bigger because they use that wide angle lens, which also really sold the force perspective.
Yes, it sold the force perspective.
Yeah. And the clever rocks around the edges are what really what you don't notice them until you know what to look for. That if the rocks weren't there, you'd see the stage lights and the floor and the boom mics and everything else. So they covered them all up with those rocks.
Yeah, and it was
like that shot there. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's my understanding too. It was Finnerman's idea about the planet as far as it being purple.
The purple sky. Yes. Yeah, it was Finnerman's idea too. And the director's like, "Yeah, sure, make it purple." And he didn't realize what it was going to look like when it finally was done. It's such an amazing looking place, a magical planet, which is what it was.
And what was really cool too is this was one of I think the other episode that they did, it was an Obsession. They actually had the clouds that you could see because they had the mist that was released in the studio, and you could see it in the sky.
Oh.
It was really, really cool, which was a really neat effect in regards to that.
Some of that stuff is actually done with a light called a Lico, which is with a cookie cutter in it that has a cloud shape to it. So it's basically, and that's how they just project that on the light wall. So that's how we used to do the whole thing. And you'd be amazed at how realistic it looks if you light it blue and some nice clouds here and there. On camera, it looks fairly real.
Yeah, because to make smoke show up on camera, you have to choke the actors. It's really got to be thick to show up on stage. Yeah.
Yeah, I read. I guess he said basically nobody moved when they were filming that because it just
dissipate. Yeah.
Get it right.
Yeah.
But yeah, it definitely was such a unique set and just the different imagery. In fact, I'm going to share some slides with everybody just to kind of remind the folks out there. And even with the planet, there we go.
Planetoid.
Planetoid, absolutely. Yeah.
Should not have had the gravity it had. That's right.
Well, again, that was probably the companion.
Yeah.
Creating the Earth-like. So after she metamorphosized,
so this picture, back up when this picture is significant later. Jerry Finnerman again basically put a colored pinwheel in front of a light and spun it. And that's what makes this pattern, this red, orange, yellow pattern. When you're watching the episodes, if you look at the people in the back seat, McCoy and the commissioner, you can actually see the pinwheeling. You can just see the color starting to pinwheel. But from here, you can't tell. It's just going red, blue, green, yellow, all the different colors from a pinwheel being spun in front of a very bright light through the middle window that wasn't open.
That's really cool. I never caught that. So that's really cool to know.
And it's important later too.
And here are some more of the exterior of the Galileo.
Yeah.
Oops. And then there's Cochrane's house.
I always loved this house. I just thought, even though it was obviously a TARDIS.
Right?
TARDIS, yeah.
Absolutely.
But I just love the design of it. I always thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of a yurt.
I could even make you a hot bath. Yeah.
Space yurt. Yes. Thank you for noticing that I needed one.
Yeah.
Did you like his instruments, by the way?
Did you also notice that on things you never noticed when you were a kid, that on board the ship, she's the one pouring the coffee?
Yeah. Yeah. One of those instruments was a bomb site or a bomb. Yeah. From I think from a 17 or something. James has one.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Of course he does.
Yeah.
Very hard to find, but that was actually it was a bomb site.
Oh, I want to say hi to Marianne. Marianne is joining us out there. Welcome to the show, Marianne. Good to see you out there. And also James Michael Avalos. He's actually joining us from Australia. Welcome,
Wow.
James. Great to see you out there. And also Don is out there. Welcome, Don. He's joining us from Delaware. So Share some more slides. Yeah, and the whole thing with the image of the companion too, that was pretty amazing as well too.
Well, that was apparently the special effects guys saw what Jerry Finneman was doing and said, what would throw that pinwheel pattern? And they invented this from what he had done. So they took his lighting and made this from it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think as far as the sparkling, but the companion itself, if you noticed, if you look at it carefully, it's at the end, when she's looking through the fabric at him, it's the same pattern as the companion. Yeah. And I think what they did was they filmed that and they just kind of flipped it back and forth to give it this motion and moved it around. And I think it's the same piece of fabric they shot and then just did a mat.
It wasn't the same piece of fabric. It was cardboard cutout shapes. They went like this.
Really,
in front
it was
of the camera.
very similar.
Yeah. And actually, they changed this. If you look, when she holds it up, it's blue and green. But when she looks through it, it changed to yellow. They color corrected it to make it look like the companion. Okay. On set, Ralph Senensky said he had her hold it up because she'd never seen a scarf. She never worn clothes. So it was a new experience for her to see the look through a scarf. And later in post, they made it look like the companion.
And it's interesting too.
Interesting.
Yeah. He used that type of scenario in another episode of another television show that he did, and he even talked about it, where he kind of borrowed that because he was trying to find a piece as far as like her leading into that scene, and he said he kind of like borrowed from himself because it was something that he had done, previously. But it really worked so well with this. I mean,
yeah, it was just luck and three different creators. It was Jerry Finneman to the special effects people to Eddie Milkus was the post-production supervisor who changed the colors to make it match. And it was just, as we said, a collaboration.
Is that blue and green the one that James has?
Yes.
Yes.
He has the same. Wow. He has her outfit.
I thought so.
Because he had two pieces
and he had
of
two.
Fabric,
yeah, he had two.
One to Denise.
He had two scarves. He gave one to Denise Okuda. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, because this is a favorite. This is like her favorite episode.
Oh.
In fact, Richard Edlund, who worked for the Westheimer Company, he worked on the for the effects for the companion. He actually later went on to do Star Wars. So there's a Star Wars connection, so to speak, almost like 10 years later.
All roads lead to Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Universal Translator, which has been brought to the set tour as well. In fact, that's Glenn that has that, right?
Yes.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're lucky enough to sit next to him at dinner, you get to take it apart just like Spock does.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Glenn is very generous with his
very
property.
generous. Yeah.
He lets John, the guy that dressed up as a Klingon, Wit, who does a really good Klingon, carry his actual Klingon disruptor around all day at events.
And the other point that's really very strong about this episode is the music too. I mean, the music really, really sells the episode. And that being George Dunning. And in regards to the script, this episode was written by Gene L. Coon. It was actually, it wasn't something that was submitted as a spec script from someone else. So this was essentially his. And he really knocked it out of the park. I mean,
he did. I usually like Gene Coon's stuff, but I was thinking about this one. I was thinking about it at the end, and we talked about this on our show on Wednesday at the end, where they always have to kind of ha at the end. But the scope of this story would have been better served with a movie or a multiple, two-parter or something. There was a lot to unpack. They just all of a sudden, oh, she's dead. Okay, the companion can have her. Okay, the end. And then on the bridge, and that's where I got my little thing down here. On the bridge, they're like, well, we need another female to go stop the war. Oh, I'm sure there's another one out there. Like they're a dime a dozen.
As you
matter of factly,
you realize
maybe she'll make better coffee. Yeah,
things were really
coffee, not be so snitty.
Just the way they treated her in general, or most women in general on the show, is pretty. Cringy now.
But she was like an assistant commissioner. She wasn't even like a full-fledged commissioner. So I don't know quite how she got this mission, how she was supposed to go do what she was supposed to do. They yada yada a lot of details, and I was thinking, oh, they could have unpacked a lot of this. Like if it had been a two-parter, it could have been unpacked.
They really made her kind of, annoying. I demand that you go back to the ship. He's like, well, can't do that for you right now because
they made her annoying
off course. I can't. You can demand all you want.
They made her annoying on purpose so you'd like her better as the companion.
Yeah, I suppose.
She was wonderful.
She got kind of a raw end of the deal out of the whole thing.
And her hair was always up and scarfed when she was her. And as soon as she was the companion, it's all down and soft. Yeah.
The other thing too is, the actress Eleanor Donahue, she was known really for doing comedy. And this was a reach for her. In fact, when they did the casting, Gene Roddenberry wanted her, and it was that she was going against type because she was on
Father Knows Best.
Father Knows Best. She was the older daughter.
Right.
She had been on the Andy Griffith show for one season, although she was contracted for 3, and then she got out of the contract after 1 year because she really wasn't gelling very well with her character and Andy's character. Did a lot of episodic television appearances, but for around this time, she was really kind of in the midst of I'll say not retiring, but just taking a break because she was concentrating on family. And when she was offered this, she wanted to do it. And I really think she did a really good job with it. I mean, I thought she pretty much very convincing, and she brought a humanity to the character. And in the beginning, I mean, she was very rough around the edges. And to Brian's point, they were trying to make her, harsh, just so that later on you would have a different appeal for her. Let's see. Marianne is saying she was great in Father Knows Best. Yeah,
I remember I found an episode of Andy Griffith Show, and the librarian was on. It's like, she looks really familiar. Who was that? And looked up. Oh, that's who it is. She was the librarian in Andy's town in Mayberry.
That's what I love watching. I don't know if you ever watch. If you have Amazon Prime, they have that X-ray or something they call it, and you can click on your remote, and it'll bring up all the actors in a scene, and then you can look at their bios. Because I've been rewatching Hogan's Heroes, and there's so many Star Trek. Guest stars that were in Hogan's Heroes. A lot of women too. A lot of the female characters. So it's like, oh, yep, I knew I recognized that person. Yep, that was Star Trek. I must have all just made the circuit around that time,
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, in a lot of ways, it's just like with today. It's and to me, like when I would go to especially the earlier conventions, I would love to hear the stories from the actors. Love hearing the stories about them being on Star Trek, but I also would be really interested to find out how they got involved into acting, what other shows that they did. And it's to me, it's always kind of fun just to hear them and see them in different roles, because you're trying to, we're so used to seeing them in Star Trek that when they're outside of that element, as an entertainer, as an artist, it's very enjoyable.
Yeah. Along with that, Roy, are the people that were working behind the scene that weren't actors, especially not the stars of the show, that you get this different perspective. I remember talking with Eddie Paskey when he had come up to Tie that time, and he had some great stories and different takes, because he was just the fly on the wall for 52 episodes, 55 episodes. So he didn't have the ego. He knew he was just an extra, basically. So you kind of had these interesting takes of that you wouldn't get from, say, Bill Shatner or George or Walter.
Plus, those characters help create the reality because you see them all the time in the background. In fact, he's in this episode. And also, I think William Blackburn is also in this episode, too, as, pretty much as background performers. Whereas Eddie Paskey's off to the engineering station. And then William Blackburn is at the Chekhov's the navigator station. But no, that's an excellent point, Mike. And especially, too, the camera operators or the production crews. In regards to Mission Impossible was being filmed right next door on the Paramount lot or Desilu lot at this time while that was going on. In fact, in reference to Eddie Paskey, I was watching a Mission Impossible episode not too long ago, and he was a background performer. He was there. In fact, he's at the beginning when they're in Jim Phelps's or actually, I think it may even have been Dan Briggs. I think it was the first season, and they're in the apartment and they're going over the mission. He isn't saying anything, but he's there, and you get to see him later on, and he's like on this table where they pull a fast one on the villains where he's unconscious, and then they switch the hospital bed and it kind of flips over, and then he's like gone. But very recognizable.
Yep.
I want to say hi to May. May is joining us from Canada. Welcome, May. Good to see you out there. James also commented, he said, one of my favorite music scores next to the Doomsday Machine. Such a tender episode. Absolutely.
Yeah, they tracked it a lot after this episode. All the love theme got played a lot on the show.
Yeah. Great music.
There's a really good podcast called I'm sorry. I started talking and I should have thought this out. It's basically about theme songs and stuff like that. They did a whole thing on Star Trek season 1. And it was really, what was really interesting was how, because of the unions and musicians unions and stuff, they could only use a piece of music so many times because the unions say, no, you need to create new stuff.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So it was just interesting. I think it's I'll find the podcast and get back to you with it, but it's really great. They do a 3-part episode just on season 1 of Star Trek.
And now it's once. Now you
can only use it once and done.
Are you serious?
No more tracking.
Well, they got creative by taking pieces,
yeah.
And they could get away with it again. It was the so many seconds rule kind of thing.
Yeah, they ended that. It's like go hire some musicians and pay them. No more tracking. Yep.
Yeah, and that's the flip side of it, because
that always had to be taken into the budget for the season.
Yes.
Dave.
Yeah.
In regards to this episode, is this one that you enjoyed a lot, or what?
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, I am not one of those like high detail knowledge guys like some of you guys are. You guys are amazing. Yeah, I mean, the whole shuttle experience always attracted me as a kid. Any episode with the shuttle in it, I was totally into, and then the whole thing with the episode and the being, and then Zephram Cochrane, I loved it. Yeah.
Now you just brought up mentioning Zephram Cochrane. Now here's the thing, and I'm going to venture out a little bit with this, and maybe you know where I'm going to go with this right now. But of course, Star Trek First Contact, we get to meet Zephram Cochrane, and totally different character. Yeah. In regards to that. And
the being on that planet for hundreds of years changed him.
Yeah.
Mellowed him out a little bit.
The planet happened after First Contact.
Right. Yeah, it would have been after. Yeah. So he's saying it changed him and mellowed him out.
So first he was a Steppenwolf kind of guy, and then he was I'm gonna hang out with a companion kind of guy.
Yeah.
Thoughtful and caring. I had a hard time with that portrayal. I think when you're a TOS fan and you see characters changed like that, it's difficult.
Yeah.
Like capricious. Why did you do that?
Yeah, capricious is a good word.
Yeah. Well, that happens a lot.
It does.
And Star Trek seems to, yes.
Yeah. Let's play with character names. Yeah.
And canon. Star Wars seems to do much better with canon than Star Trek. I don't know why. Star Trek just like whatever.
Yeah, it was just an observation and just a point just to bring up. But it is what it is. But
it bugged everybody.
Yeah. Which is I like the actor. I think he's great. Who portrayed him.
Cromwell or the other guy?
Glenn Corbett.
Yeah. No, the one who portrayed him in First Contact.
Cromwell. James Cromwell.
I love Cromwell. Yeah, I'm not going to blame Cromwell for that. He did the best he could with what he was given. That's the way I take that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a great actor. Yeah.
It's funny. The first time I saw James Cromwell was in a movie. It was a comedy, in fact. It was, I don't know if you ever saw it. It was called Murder by Death.
Yeah.
And great cast. and
Yeah.
he
Who
was
was he? Who was he in Murder by Death?
he was the chauffeur. He was James Coco's chauffeur.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen that movie in a long time. But
I
that's
love it.
Truman
great.
Capote just eats the scenery in that movie.
He does.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what a cast. I mean, David Niven, Maggie Smith, Peter
Falk.
Falk.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so good.
Murder by Death. God, I haven't
Yeah.
seen
It
that.
was a Death by
And
Murder.
what's funny is I saw that movie as a kid, didn't know who any of the characters were.
Yeah.
And then as I went along seeing the movies from the 40s and 50s, like, oh, that's who those people were portraying.
I know it all comes together. Mike, thanks for sharing that too. Sue's out there saying hi to everybody.
Hey.
Hey, Sue. She said one thing I loved about the episode was meeting Zephram Cochrane. I thought that was an interesting angle. Yeah.
Which brought up, of course, we were talking about First Contact, and then there's that: is he from Alpha Centauri or is he from Earth?
Right. That's
Right.
another.
And I always, I guess my way of reconciling that is, well, he was born on Earth and he might have invented warp there, but then once he became warp capable, he moved to Alpha Centauri, just like in Florida. Alpha Centauri might be the Florida of the Federation.
Yeah.
For retirees. You don't know. So the last place he lived was Alpha Centauri.
Just trying to help him out.
Prove me wrong.
Yeah.
I like it. It works.
Glenn Corbett, for the folks out there if you ever watched it, there was a 1960s show called Route 66. He actually took over for George McHarris in the fourth season, or fourth and a half, I guess it was in the middle of the fourth season. And then he was on throughout the fifth season until the end of the series. And interesting enough, the episode that introduced his character on that show was directed by Ralph Senensky. So there's that connection there. And but he did a lot of stuff. Sadly, though, he died at a very young age. He was only 59 years old when he died, and it was back in '93.
So you had Ralph on here 5 years ago?
I did, yeah. And I'll tell you something. Such a pleasure to talk to. I have the audio for that. Thanks to mutual friend Captain Phil. Thank you, Phil. What happened was I had lost the video because of Facebook, and my backup failed. But I do have the entire interview, and it was for like about 3.5, almost 4 hours long.
Wow!
And what a wealth of information, and such a pleasure. And he went through talking about the 7 Star Trek episodes that he had directed, and also just his career. I mean, he was so involved, but his memory, though, I mean, sadly, he passed last November. He was 102. Yeah. His memory was so sharp. I mean, just incredible, like a steel trap. I mean, I remember asking him about, and I can't even remember what it was. I mentioned the television series, and I said, did you direct that, Ralph? And he's like, no, Roy, I didn't direct that one. And he was like, he was just like right on it. He so sure, but heck of a guy though. But
3 to 4 hours of
wow.
Yeah, and in fact, I'm going to share that. I'm going to be reposting that just so it's out there so folks can hear
That'd
it.
Be great.
Yeah.
He's Brian, you were with him in an interview with him or something?
Yes. The one of the last interviews he did was at a convention in San Jose.
Okay.
Because he lived there in the Bay Area, and it's like we're trying to get him out to Ticonderoga, but he could not travel. He was on an oxygen tank the whole time, and they were wheeling him around in a wheelchair. But he was 100 years old then, and but boy, could he remember everything. Yeah.
And such a nice guy too, right, Brian? I mean,
yeah. What he would talk your ear off, like he said, 3.5, 4 hours. Yeah, just wind him up and off he goes. Yeah.
He did a lot of the Waltons too. I found out that was another show.
Yeah. He was quite a working television director. He worked he did Mission Impossible, and then right after Star Trek, he went to then Ken Bronson with the producer. What's his name? He wrote all the memos. God.
For which show?
For Star Trek.
Oh, Gene L. Coon?
No, not the
Robert Justman.
Robert Justman went on to then came Bronson as the producer.
Yep.
And brought Sinski along to direct quite a few episodes of that show, although it didn't run very long. Yep.
Yeah, because I think Ralph worked with Gene L. Coon on the Wild Wild West, if I remember
Right.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, here's the information that I will track on something like this. James spotted the 3D chess set basis on the Waltons.
That's right.
Wow.
Yep. So it was a 3-tier display for sale, and it was in the store.
Yeah.
In the store, and yeah, he spotted it there. That was the first time that we had like evidence that of what the chess set was. That it wasn't,
It wasn't
made,
stacked pie pans. No, it
wasn't stacked pot lids.
Yeah.
It was actually a display. Yeah.
Yeah, for years, I think people thought it was a cake or a pie stand was the
Pie
base,
stand, yeah.
and they thought they had made the arms, but that wasn't the case.
Nope.
No. And he spotted it on the Waltons first. It was great.
Yeah.
Of all shows.
Found items. That's
Everything's found. Everything.
Found
Yeah. Don't build it, find it. Yeah.
I love found items.
I did, Dave. I did bring my.
Oh,
Here's one.
Oh,
yes.
Can you get that kind of close to the camera?
So that was on Galileo. I can't hold it straight. Galileo 7. That's what Scotty used to sort the batteries.
Rotating.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, except it's turned that direction, which is why it looks like a wrench.
Well, he did it like he held it like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to but he held it and he did cross that way. And his was more chromy. This one's very old. This one, I wouldn't be surprised if this is as old as I am, because this is probably circa late 60s, early 70s. I got it in the fire department when I was in the 80s. But these are still used. This is a fire hose wrench, and you usually have two of them, and you tighten or loosen the couplings.
We should probably let the audience know that on Wednesday we were discussing the episode Galileo 7, and in it Scotty uses.
Yeah, and that's when I noticed it. So I've had that for, I don't know, I got out of the fire department in 1990. So I've had it since then. It was stuck, and I never knew.
Okay.
I had a Scotty tool.
I forgot to say in this Galileo 7 episode, the Galileo 7 are the people on the ship, not the ship itself.
Yes.
The 7, that's
right.
a coincidence.
Well, there is a 7, but there's
So
a
they end up
7
with the
on it.
Galileo 5.
Yeah, it's a complete coincidence. Yeah.
Well, was it a coincidence? Was it?
And Roy, I also told them that the gloves Scotty's wearing are very sparkly. I said they were Saticon fabric.
Oh, okay.
And I knew you would know what a Saticon was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Same fabric as the Saticons. Yes.
Yep.
Well, everything sci-fi back then was sparkly and blinky lights.
Yes.
It's pretty
More
much
blinky lights.
Those aliens cracked me up, Brian, because they went like this.
They're unstable in the gravity.
We're talking about Lost in Space for those.
Lord
Saticon
hats and
What was it? Wreck of the Robot, I think, was the where they introduced them, and then they came back in the final episode of the second season. And we always digress on the show. So
what was the one where they were transported back to Earth?
Yes,
but it was a construct of Dr. Smith's mind, and the flies were 55 pounds. Yeah.
And one of those flies might have been actually Sandy Gimple doing the.
Oh, you're right. I think you're right. You're right. Yeah.
Ask her. She's more than happy to.
Oh, Sandy remembers everything. Yeah.
She's
sharp as a whip.
She is. She's amazing.
She still works occasionally. Like she's like, oh, if they need an old lady to fall.
Oh yeah.
She's amazing.
She was telling me that. That's crazy.
She's always at Las Vegas, and I've seen her the last couple of years. Of course, she's been to Thai a couple times, and she just
she goes to the gym and keeps in shape.
So she's in great shape for her age.
Yeah,
she's got a black belt too. So
I mean, she probably could kick my ass.
Mess you up.
Sounds like she definitely could kick your ass.
I have no doubt about it.
I want to see that.
Commented, he said, watching this episode as a child, I couldn't accept the premise that none of the crew didn't immediately recognize the name Zephram Cochrane, especially Spock. Well,
I think they did. Because once he said his name, because they said he said his name was just Cochrane,
right?
And it could be I actually know somebody with the last name of Cochrane. So,
even
But
Kirk
then
said-
but it was McCoy and Kirk said he looks familiar. Why does he look familiar? And you
They
think if
couldn't
it's somebody from history from 150 years ago, even if it was
Well,
somebody
yeah,
very
if you
significant,
met somebody
would
who
you
said they
never-
were,
would you necessarily recognize him right away?
would you,
And
would
their
you,
images are probably of him as an old man.
right.
and would you recognize Thomas Edison if he said, "I'm Edison"?
Yeah.
And he's like, "Thomas Edison." It's like, no, you can't be Thomas Edison. You're dead.
Yeah.
But what he
Besides,
did
when
say
the companion reconstructed him to make him a young man, she didn't have a guide to go by, so she made him look different than he did in
like
First
the,
Contact.
like
right?
the
That's-
Telosians.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
but-
Telosian.
They
Yeah.
didn't have
it's
a
very,
Yeah.
Everything works.
Everything works, but he doesn't
Well,
look the
she didn't
same.
have to fix him. She just had to make him younger.
Yeah.
He
Well,
wasn't.
that's all.
He was supposedly what,
Just
87
grab that
years old?
clock knob and turn
Well,
it.
She wasn't like it wasn't like poor Vina where she was all banged up and
Yeah. Yeah, he was just old. But hang on one second. Oh, I see somebody else. Oh, Joel's out there. Hey, Joel, thanks for joining. He said I did note that he didn't have a Jughead hat on the original series.
yeah, he lost that hat in the crash, I guess.
well clearly when he left Alpha Centauri, he said he was 82 or something, 87, somewhere in there.
87 when he left. Yeah.
Left.
Yeah.
So when we see him in First Contact, he's probably, I don't know, in his late 50s or 60s. So clearly there was a bit of time that passed.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for joining, Joel. And hey, Nick McCarty's out there joining us from the UK. Welcome, Nick. I know it's a little late out there, but we appreciate you being out there.
Yeah,
Making the journey across the pond.
Yep.
making him. When I imagined in the Expanse, I don't know if you've seen the Expanse, the inventor of their star drive.
Yeah.
Turned it up to like 3 Gs and was pushed so far back in his seat he couldn't reach the controls
Yeah.
to turn it off.
That was a great episode.
And he just went whoosh forever
yeah.
out into space. I wonder if that's what happened to Zephram Cochrane. That's how he ended up crashing on that planet.
maybe.
Wait, I'm completing 2 episodes. Is it the
Yeah.
kid? Is it the kid who ran the ring? No, the guy. I remember someone not being able to reach.
So what in that episode it was called? They called the Epstein drive because he was the one. He basically came up with a formula. I know, but that's what it was. Where it would use the fuel very efficiently. So he just hit the throttle
Yeah.
and he didn't realize how efficient.
I remember.
his system
Luckily, he
was.
was radioing back his
No, we
findings
could do
on
that.
radio, but he was gone. No one
But
could
he
catch him.
couldn't reach the
Yeah,
stop button.
I
because
remember
the
that
G-
episode.
because he was accelerating.
But the
so
kid
fast.
that ran the ring has a bigger impact on my brain.
Yes,
But
yeah.
yes.
So he eventually just stroked out because of the G force caused the vessel in his brain to burst. And
That
it's a
was
great
just-
episode of the Expanse because it does
Yeah.
give you of how basically they moved out to the solar
Like,
system.
don't experiment with speed alone.
Yeah, have a
Have
timer so
brakes.
it cuts off
Experiment
by
with brakes
itself.
as well.
Yeah, have an auto shut off or
What does that
something.
mean?
Sadly, I've not seen The Expanse. That's another one of those shows I've got to catch
Oh,
up
very
on.
good show. Yeah,
I think you'd like it,
Yeah.
Roy. It's good.
You'll struggle through the first season, then it really gets good.
And then it picks up.
Yeah, it takes off.
How many seasons are there of it?
Five?
Five?
6?
Five
The sixth
seasons?
season's very short, I think. It's only like 4 episodes or something.
Gotcha. I'll definitely have to add that to the list to check out.
It is very good.
Looks like Sharon joined us.
Yes,
Hey, Sharon.
and saying go Galileo.
Go Galileo.
Go Gadget Galileo.
Thanks for being out there.
Heck yeah.
So just I always like to give a shout out to Starlog back in the day. And
Yeah.
Starlog issue number 1, of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
Broken Spock on the cover. And of course there was a lot of coverage of Starlog covering Star Trek, but that was the great kickoff. So right there. And that was back in 1976. And that's pre-internet. So that's why I always like to reference Starlog magazine, because
Starlog was the internet.
it was. I mean,
Yeah.
That was the only way you got any information.
It was it.
On
Yeah.
anything.
I used to remember like waiting because it was a bi-monthly issue, and it's like, oh, when's the next issue going to come out? And of course, as everybody knows, I love Space 1999 just as much as I love Star Trek. And issue number 2 was Space 1999.
Space 1999. Yeah.
Joel said,
that in the Star Trek poster book,
yes.
which it turns out Doug Drexler published. I found that out just the other day that Doug Drexler published the poster book.
There were only 17 of those, but those books were amazing.
Yeah.
And somewhere I've got them buried somewhere, but they're
This
not
is
really...
again. This is back when there were no pictures available at all, other than what you saw on the television set. So finding the stuff on your newsstand was amazing.
You know who also contributed to that book also was Alan Asherman to the Star Trek poster book. And in fact, speaking of Alan, do you remember this book?
Oh, Star Trek Compendium.
Yeah.
I have that book. Yeah.
This is actually my original, and it's really pretty much beaten.
Mine's in a little better condition than that, but I have that one.
I remember getting that at a Walden Books, and I basically stayed up all night. It was on a Saturday when I got it, and I was up the entire night just pouring through that, and it was like, wow. And
I don't know if I did it overnight, but I did read that cover to cover when I got it.
Yeah, it was just
any kind of I found a Star Trek book like that. I have them all on the shelf behind me.
The technical manual was my Bible for years. Years. I'd pour over that thing. I learned to draw and read blueprints reading that book.
Wow.
It was because the guy who drew it was a draftsman for Raytheon. Raytheon, I think it was.
Oh, Franz Joseph?
Franz Joseph, yeah. And imagine my little geek brain when I found out he lived 10 minutes from my house.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Yes.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. It's like what do you mean he lives? What do you mean he lives in San Diego? Yeah, he lives in San Diego. His daughter went to the same. His daughter went to the same science fiction club I did.
Oh, that's crazy.
And that's where that whole thing was birthed through his daughter. Yeah.
Wow. Joel commented. He said, "I couldn't buy that
fast enough." Yeah.
He said, "And Monster Times."
Monster Times. No, it's Famous Monsters. Famous Monsters magazine. You have a puzzled look on your face. Yeah, that was another have to buy. Yeah.
What was the other one too? Cinnamon Fantastique, right? That was
another
Fantastic. That was later, and that was a professional magazine. It was too expensive when I was a kid. I had to pick up the issues later. Yeah.
And Starlog was with what was it? Fangoria too, right? But yeah. Sadly, the warehouse for Starlog, because they had, where you could get the back issues, I guess there was a big massive fire. So it's like, as far as getting these copies, basically you got to go on eBay and hope for the best for that. But I remember when the last issue came out, it was probably like maybe about, I don't know, 2008 maybe. And,
wow, that late. Okay.
Yeah, and that was a sad day. But
yeah, wow. So what year did it come out to start with? It was
76. It was in August of 76. Yeah.
Before Star Wars.
Before Star Wars, yes. In fact, the Starlog issue, Starlog 7 had the X-Wing on it, and it had the Space 1999 Eagle blueprints in there that were done by Jeffrey Mandel.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah. It's crazy. But yeah. Oh, Bill's out there. Hey, Bill, thanks for joining. He said famous
monsters of film end. Yeah. Yeah. Great. Forey Ackerman. Yeah.
So we're well represented tonight. Anyway, I guess any last thoughts before we start to wind down as far as this episode, as far as
Metamorphosis.
It's funny. It's one of those ones I always gauge Star Trek, how I thought about it as a kid, because that's, when I was watching it in the 70s and reruns. This was not one of my favorites, because it was a love story and really there wasn't much action in it. So as a child, I was like, boring. We gotta get some Klingons in here and shoot some stuff. That's all. My favorites as a kid was Balance of Terror and and of course Trouble with Tribbles and any of the ones with Klingons pretty much in them. Were more interesting than these ones. Impact was another one. I can't watch this one.
Yeah, this is the guy that same guy wrote this, invented the Klingons, and invented the Federation. Yeah.
So we were talking about that at our show with Galileo 7, how they were talking about Galactic High Commissioner. Whatever that name was, and because they hadn't invented the Federation yet.
Yep, Gene Coon hadn't come along.
So he was Galactic High Commissioner. So that was kind of interesting, that you don't realize how things really developed over the course of the show. I don't know when the first time we did hear the Federation mentioned in the Prime Directive.
There's a trivia question. That's right. He invented the Prime Directive too. That was also Gene Coon.
Somebody must know. I'm sure there's
Prime
some nerd out
Directive.
there that knows when the Federation.
Oh,
was... Errand of Mercy? No, would that? No, I don't know.
That was the first Klingon.
Yeah.
It might be. You know what? It might be this episode because this was the second episode of second season, right? And that's when Gene Coon first came in.
Yeah.
This is second season,
Yeah. Early
Yeah.
second season. Yeah.
Yeah, it was this. Yeah, second episode of the second season.
Yeah.
I think it was shown like 9th, if it regards
was shown
not
9th,
being
okay.
televised, but it's the second production as far as production.
Yeah, they never seem to shoot them in the order that they air them.
No.
Because the first one they shot of the second season, I think, was Cat's Paw.
It was, yeah.
It was the first one they shot. Yeah.
Yep. Yep, it was right before it. You know, and it's interesting. You mentioned the Empath. Charles Dunning did the music for the Empath, just like he did for this episode. This was the first episode that he actually did work for Star Trek. The Empath back in the day was an episode that when that was on, I'd be like, oh, not this one.
Yeah.
But I didn't quite feel the same way about this episode as much as I did about the
I
Empath.
agree with that. I will agree with that.
I agree with that too. There's a little more to unpack here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a
And-
lot more. to unpack.
I had more of an appreciation for this episode being older and just there's so many layers to it.
This episode had the Galileo in it. Spock opens up that back panel and then they blow it up. It was awesome.
Exactly.
Yeah. A significant amount of voltage. Yeah.
He was just kind of very nonchalant about it.
Yeah, he's very
Old-fashioned
nonchalant.
electric shock.
Yeah.
Interesting
I'm
thing
like,
too
if they're
is,
not using electricity, what are they using?
right?
That's what I want to know.
Plasma.
Like, Scotty was originally supposed in the original draft. Scotty was actually supposed to be on the Galileo, and it was supposed to be him getting the electric shock instead of Spock.
He always was getting zizzed.
But that was just
No,
Mike, you nailed it. That was the reason because they hadn't filmed it yet, but it was going to happen in the Changeling, and then it was going to happen in Who Mourns for Adonais.
too many getting electrocuted. He's gonna be like punch drunk.
Yeah.
But no, you bring up a good point that I wanted to mention. Was if you look at this, so you have the captain and the second in command going on this milk run to pick this woman up. Now I get why McCoy's there because he's got to tend to her. But why would you send the captain and the second in command on this milk run to go get this woman and bring her back to the ship? Like why the ship didn't go and just pick her up?
She's a
in the
commissioner.
first
It's
place?
kind of like an ambassador. But
It's
you're
still
right.
a milk
this is
run.
just-
You would never send a flag officer to.
so
needed-
many things. Writer's convenience.
I know. I understand that. I'm not trying to. I'm just saying, it kind of as I'm watching, I'm like, why are but if you're going to send one, you don't send both.
And Rizzo, this is a classic example of Mike Okuda's phrase: the Galileo was invented to get people into trouble,
People into trouble, right?
transport
And
them to trouble. That's
It
what it's
just had
for.
to be said because it just,
Yeah.
when you watch these shows, you kind of say, okay, there was some stuff that just didn't make any sense on this show. But you're right. It was if they had anybody else, it wouldn't be as interesting, and they probably would be still on that planet.
That's right.
They wouldn't have had a way figured out
That's
a way
right.
to leave.
If the companion had grabbed anybody else, they'd
And
still
nobody
be
would
there.
have been able to adjust
Yeah.
the universal translator except Spock.
Yeah.
Bill commented, he said they hadn't added the rocks to starships yet to injure the crew when things exploded.
the rocks in the consoles.
No, it's the dust falling from the ceiling of the Romulan ship because they have plaster ceilings apparently.
Yes, it was concrete or something. That
Concrete ceiling.
Yeah.
But
Well, when that piece comes down and crushes the Centurion, you're like, okay,
Yeah.
it looked like a big chunk of concrete to me.
yeah, it really took them out. Any other comments, Mary Beth, about the episode?
No, I'm the opposite of Rizzo. He didn't like it, but I was like, oh, there's something to unpack here. I just stand by my first comment. They squeezed a lot into the show, and it almost did it a disservice.
Yeah.
I think the show would have been this episode. The plot line would have been better served with a two-parter. But
No, I think
how
it's
so though? I mean, you say that, but I'm trying to think of how they would have extended it.
I just want to
Story
know,
more.
like, what was the psychology? Like, what was going on? I need to know more about Zephram and how he got there. I need to know more about her. And then, did she just die and they just said, here's her body? Like, how did that all happen? I kind of missed that part.
Well, I think she caught her just before she died.
No, she didn't die, to your point, because, and that was another point, the network, because the network was always on top of them in regards to this. So one of the stipulations was that, and she even makes, I think she makes the comment, she said that, you know, part of her was not going to make it. It was like basically going to die. They didn't want her to have died and then she was taken over, because it would have been like a resurrection, the religious implications. And then what, 1967, the phone ringing off the hook, and they would have been getting, you know, all this mail from, you know.
There's more to unpack there. I wonder how she came to that decision. Like, yep, I'll do this. Okay.
Oh, you want to see her make that decision? Yeah. That comes later in the
So the question though remains:
episode.
Could she have saved the commissioner all along, and was she lying when she told Zephram she couldn't help her?
Couldn't help her, but only by joining with her could she save her.
Well, you don't know that, because she could do all these other things.
She helped.
She can make him younger, but she can't.
Okay,
but she cured the disease. She cured the disease when she merged with her.
Yeah.
So I think she was lying.
I think she was holding out
all along.
Just to
She didn't want another woman in his life.
That's what I'm saying.
That'll happen.
Yeah, right.
She was jelly.
She was jelly bug.
Sparkly.
This is how fan fiction is written and expanded upon, and people go to town with that stuff. Any other comments, Brian? No?
There was a television show with Will from Will and Grace in it, where they were jumping into people's bodies just as they died. They were from the future, and that's how they would time travel.
Oh,
and they couldn't kill people. So, like, his guy was about to fall down an elevator shaft, and he jumped into his body and jumped aside. And now he gets to live the rest of his life in that body in the past, trying to solve the future. It's a really interesting show. I think it was shot in Canada. I'll have to find it.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, I think I watched that.
Yeah, it was a really good show. But really interesting conceit that you could jump back into a person's body, but then you were stuck.
Right.
And they sent a strike team back. And the oldest guy ends up in a 17-year-old kid's body.
Class.
And the woman who's a trained killer is a single mom. Now she's got to raise this baby.
When they jumped, did they say, "Oh boy"?
Yeah.
What was the name of the show?
I don't know. I'm looking for it.
Quantum Leap. Oh no.
No.
It's like Observation Deck for you. You just can't remember it.
Can't remember.
Observation Deck.
That's an interesting premise, though.
That's like Doug Drexler with neural neutralizer. He could never, when he was giving his tour, this is way back, like the first time he came, and he'd get to the lab, and he could never, because that console in the lab was the neural neutralizer controls.
Oh, okay.
He'd get there, and he'd get, and I was with him, like most of them, I'd say neural neutralizer. and he kind of like, I need this guy around because I can't. And then there was another time I was in somewhere like in the briefing room or somewhere down there, and I could hear him talking, and he got to that room, and I could see him once again. He pulled his brain froze on neural, and I just hollered neural neutral.
Travelers. The name of the show is Travelers.
Yeah.
Travelers. Okay. That does sound familiar now. That
Travelers is the name of the show. It's a really interesting conceit. Yeah.
So that would have been out when? Like about the same time as like Quantum Leap and that kind of
2016, 2018. It's more
that's
recent then.
Yeah. It's recent. Yeah.
Oh, very
it's the
recent.
Travelers.
Thinking of that.
It's called Traveler. Just the word Travelers. And yeah,
Travelers. Okay.
They send back a strike team to try. It's basically like Terminator. They send back a strike team to take down the machine that's going to ruin the future for humans.
Yeah,
of course, the machine sends people back
too.
Unique
trope.
Yeah.
That's never been done before.
So that's Travelers, Marianne. Yep. She said she's interested in seeing that. So
it's a good show. Really good show. And it's hilarious because they're from the future, so they can't believe we eat meat at all. They're like, what? Yeah.
No steak for them.
Wait, there's no meat in the future?
They don't eat animals in the future.
Future's gonna suck.
Yeah. It's gonna suck. Yeah.
We'll
talk about how it sucks.
I like me some ribs and a nice steak. Sorry.
Yeah.
You better get it while you can.
I do.
You're gonna be Joey Pants in the Matrix soon.
Eric McCormick says to the 17-year-old kid, "It's like you're eating meat." He goes, "Have you tried it? It's amazing."
That's great.
That's That's awesome.
But we digress. Sorry.
Yeah, it's all good.
But yeah,
It's
they
all
jump
gonna
into
be
people just as they
vegetable-based
die. Just like so I
products.
watched the episode the other day, and I immediately thought of that. She jumped into her body just as she died.
Sue asked what platform that was on. It looked like it was on Sci-Fi from what I saw.
That sounds right.
Yeah. And
Oh,
it was
that
on-
means it was canceled right when it was getting good.
yeah,
it was-
3 seasons.
Yeah, it was on and off
That's
a
what
lot.
Sci-Fi does. They get a good show, and then we're going to cancel it now.
It's painful. So okay, so anyway, yeah, folks, if you have any last minute comments or questions about Metamorphosis, just put them in, and then or remember them, and we'll circle back once towards the latter part of the show. But right now, there's a lot of cool stuff going on with the Galileo. So I'm going to let Dave and Brian talk about that, and this is with the Kickstarter.
Dave, go ahead. I've talked a lot already.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Now, listen, my concern, we're ending on Sunday at noon, and no one's going to be paying attention because of Firefly. They're all going to be thinking about what the heck's going on, man.
Oh, is
That's
that
a great
announcement
point. I don't
Sunday?
know what time the Firefly thing is.
That is
But
a
no.
big deal. I'll cover my.
You will have my complete attention, except for when I go.
I don't think it's going to be because no, they are in Washington D.C., so it might be in East Coast. My
Really?
guess it's going to be before. It's going to be after noon.
Because if it's before, it's going to block the sun itself.
Yeah.
Everyone's
see
going
what
to
it
be
is.
so
It might
pissed off
just
when they find
be-
out it's just a radio show. They'll all be
Yeah.
mad.
Yeah,
They'll be
yeah.
No,
screaming
they're
and
gonna
stuff.
get ripped to pieces if that's all it is.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, the fans are going nuts.
I don't think so. I think that from the rumors of buzz with Disney, I think it's going to be either a reboot of the show or at least a miniseries.
Wow. Well, that would be amazing. Yeah. Well, hopefully it happens afternoon because we've got our we're very, very appreciative how successful our Kickstarter has been. Brian and I have been just amazed at how well it's done. And we're very excited to hope to have a very strong finish over the next 39 hours. And there's still some great things available to people. I think, do we still have a couple of slots in the room where you can see the christening?
Yeah, there's still slots in the christening room, so you can be in the room when George Takei and Walter Koenig break that fake bottle on our fake spaceship and rechristen the ship. Yeah, there's still room in the room. You can say you were there when it happened.
Yeah, and one of my favorite tiers for people, I really love the crew. I think it's called Crew, right?
Yeah, the crewman. Yeah.
Crewman for $500. You get all the things that we've made for people, all the merch, but you get your name permanently on a plaque in the room, and you get your own replica of that plaque, and that's a permanent thing. And I just think it's a great tier, especially if somebody who can't make it out there or who wants to have a chance. It's like a little chance to be in Star Trek instead of just like getting to watch it. You're getting to help the Galileo happen, and your name will.
I've had a couple of people reach out and go, "I'm going to put my friend up there. I'm going to put my dead father up there because he loves Star Trek. I want his name on the set." And they've got a few of those. It doesn't have to be your name. It can be any name you want up there.
Well, there might be some names.
Not Mickey Mouse or Seymour Butts. No.
Yeah. No Seymour Butts.
No.
But it's
They
a
will
great
be
tier.
vetted. We'll just put it that way. They'll be vetted.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we have the model here that we commissioned.
There it is.
Neil.
There's the
That
model.
was how it was in 2012 before Adam and Leslie Schneider restored it. This is an amazing job by Neil of how it looked. I love this thing. So cool.
How cool that is. Wow.
He did a beautiful job making it look terrible.
This is
Yeah,
how
look
she
at
is
that.
today.
Nice.
You remember that trailer episode of Star Trek, right?
Yeah. Well, my friend Barry Kay made this. I should tell you guys that.
I have that kit. I really got to build it. I wish I could get the right paint colors. I think is the key to it.
Yeah, you want to get this.
A bunch of people have published them. I can't get this.
Bondo and primer.
Yeah, the Bondo look. No, he did just an amazing job of finding a
He did a
trailer.
nice job with the
Then
trailer.
there's like wood debris in there, and
the interior is really cool because it's not just hollow. He did like the wood.
Yeah, he put the wood interior in, and yeah, he just did a fabulous job of this. Thank you, Neil. This is so cool. Yeah, so I mean, we're very excited. We get to build the building. The contractor is going to start next week with the physical building. We had the foundation ready in the before winter, and due to the success,
There it is.
there it is. They're going to start building the walls and putting up the building. I mean, we're able to really do this thing. Everything is really happening. And what we're hoping for with everyone's help is the ability to do this video wall, volume wall behind, which I really think is the thing that's going to be the secret sauce that makes this room amazing. You can't, Brian, what were we saying? How big is the actual hangar deck?
About the size of a football field is the
Right.
actual hangar deck. Yeah.
So there's like a bunch of reasons why we're not building it,
Yeah.
including money, space, and just the ridiculousness of
And
it.
100 feet tall. Yeah. Yeah.
And it never existed as an actual set.
Yeah.
You saw like through the doorway, but they did anything you saw was just special effect.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it would be great if we could build it because it would just be amazing to stand in. But the thing that would be is we'll be able to have you feel like the shuttle, the Galileo is in the hangar deck. And that's the first thing that we want to do because we want people to, see the shuttlecraft as it was and imagine it as if it was in the original series. But then later we could go into space or go to another planet, or there's a lot of things we could do. Even a presentation that goes around the shuttle that could be developed that when people walk in and maybe it goes through the history and shows them pictures of the gypsy life of this shuttlecraft that it's had through all its days.
It has a very interesting story.
Yeah. I would love that.
It's quite a journey that it has been on for the last 60 years.
We're having actually Dave kind of buried the lead. The last 2 hours of the Kickstarter, we're going to do a live stream on Distilled with Rizzo. And we're going to have Doug Drexler and Darren Dockerman and the Okudas on as guests as we roll this kind of shuttle telethon onto the last few minutes. And and one of the guys coming on is help me with his name, Jim Payne, who's making a documentary charting the course of the Galileo from the School of the Blind through the RV parking lot, through a few front yards and a junkyard, and finally to Adam and the restoration, and now finally landing in Ticonderoga. That'll be a great documentary to watch.
Yeah, he knows some things that he's uncovered stuff. He's uncovered ownerships that people weren't aware of, people who had custody of the shuttle. And he's got some amazing detailed information.
And still finding things out.
Wow.
Just this last week, he found out new information he did not know about the shuttle. Yeah.
About related to the School for the Blind, and that there was a connection between the school and the studio, which makes sense. It didn't just randomly end up there. And amazing. That'll be interesting when he's on. Everybody who's on Sunday will be amazing. Yeah, very exciting. Can't wait.
And when you talk about the history, though, it feels like it was just 50 years that, with Star Trek, but now you're talking 60 years. And the fact that it's had this incredible journey, and that it's wonderful to hear about this documentary, though. I mean, that's going to be something that the fans are really going to enjoy.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I always say it's the one, right? There's half a dozen phasers. There's 12 communicators. There's 3 or 4 tricorders. There's 1 shuttlecraft, and this is it. And it's still around, and it's
big.
And it's
Even
big.
though
It is big, and that's a great point, Dave. Because it amazes me you say that the people who had custody of it were just like regular Joes, that they had it in their yard, and this thing is not easy to move.
No,
not like you can pull it up onto a boat trailer and tow it where you're going to go. It's big. It's wider than it legally, I think, can be on the road.
That's right. With the nacelles on, it can't be on the road. It's too wide.
Take it apart.
I don't know how.
We needed a crane to move the darn thing. We had to hire a crane.
And the cells are steel. They're steel tubes, and the supports that hold them up are steel, and the wings are steel. They weigh one nacelle, I'm certain, weighs more than the body of the ship.
Yeah,
they're
heavy. Incredibly heavy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think 4 people could pick them up. They were so heavy, and so it's hard to imagine how people were so dedicated to get a hold of this thing and get it anywhere. It was not simple. I don't know how they did it.
I've said this, I don't know how many times, but we have to thank AMT for building it like a tank.
Yeah.
Because it wouldn't be here, because it would, if the studio had built it, it would have been half. You would have never seen the back half because they would have never built it. And it would have just been a facade, and it would have been out of MDF or plywood, and it would have never survived.
Yeah, look at all the spaceships from Lost in Space, Roy.
You took the words right out of my mouth, Brian. Because they had the full size mock up of the Jupiter 2, and pretty much that was used in other productions.
Yeah, and the shuttle pod was,
the space pod. Yeah,
the space pod also had a full size one.
Whoops,
they used it 3 times and destroyed it.
People talk about how the Galileo isn't much left of it, but the bottom metal frame and the nacelles are the original nacelles.
Yeah.
Those are the real deal. The fins were replaced, but those are the original tubes and armatures.
Yeah, if you look I would say above the water line, you can see there's a line between the dark gray part and the light gray part. The dark gray parts are all pretty much the original ship, and the light gray parts had to be redone. If you've seen the pictures of the roof, it was completely caved in from being rained on for decades.
Yeah. We want Neil to do one that's the RV park version.
Yeah, the RV park version.
Oh my God.
It was a match. I got to see it back then. I lived in California in the 70s and 80s, and we went and visited it in the parking lot there at the RV park, and tried to buy it, but failed because there's so many. I'm sure every Star Trek fan who went and saw it said, "Let's go contact this guy and we'll buy it and we'll restore it." Yeah, we will. It's like, where do you put it?
Yeah,
it's a great story.
What we're up against now is we're building a building because we need some place to put it.
Well, Adam had it restored at a shipyard.
Yeah,
right. It was so they had the big, garage space that they could pull a boat into and rebuild this stuff. So
and since it's been restored, when it's restored in New Jersey, then it went to Houston to be at the Space Center. Then it went to the aircraft carrier in New York. Then it went back to Houston again to be back on display in the lunchroom. And then it went back to New York again to Ticonderoga. Yeah. That's since it's been restored.
Right.
That's all the trips.
Yeah, that's the first time I saw it was at the Intrepid Museum in New York City. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it at the
right under the shuttle Enterprise, the actual space shuttle Enterprise.
Yes.
Which was really cool. It was pretty cool to see it like that. The two together. Which the space shuttle is still there. That's on permanent display in the Intrepid.
Yeah. And when I went there was a Starfleet Academy that I enjoyed.
Right. Yep.
There.
Some of that stuff that was there is what James has at the center. He got some of that stuff when they
You did your training.
Bill's asking about In Harm's Way. It was a mock-up, Bill. He didn't have.
Oh, that was not it.
That was not it.
That was just the front, I think.
Yeah, Jim Payne settled in
Barbara Lerner's garage.
Right, that was one with William Wyndham, right?
Yeah,
I guess. Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah.
That was that the Galileo from the Doomsday Machine that or we don't know what shuttle it was because I don't think they identified it, did they?
Well, the Galileo was destroyed, right? So,
Well, it was
So many
destroyed in
times.
Galileo 7.
Yeah, and the Galileo.
And then they did. I think they finally put a Galileo 2 on it in Way to
In-
Eden.
The waiting.
Yeah.
Third season.
great episode.
So, but I don't know what shuttle Decker died in trying to blow up the Doomsday Machine.
Yeah, because we never see the outside of the shuttle.
You see the back of it. I think when the
Yeah.
side is like a
But
very.
it was a shuttle, so it was like Copernicus or whatever.
Yeah, it could have been one of their other shuttles. I assume they had like 4, because there's a shot like when you see that there's like these little bays on the side.
Rizzo, it's number 7.
No,
They must
this
have had
is
at
one
least
shuttle.
7.
There's 7 shuttles.
At least 7 shuttles.
Well, the only reason I saw 4 bays, little parking. I think those are little parking bays on the side.
Is that what they are?
I don't know. I don't think anybody
You know-
knows. I think it was just
You
there.
know what was interesting though is in the episode The Omega Glory, Galloway calls from the hangar deck, and we don't see him, but he says to Kirk that I think he says all 4 of the shuttlecraft are still there. That the crew didn't leave by that means. So there is a quote saying,
Yeah, I don't think they had 7. Where
I
did they
always thought
want to
it
know where
was
the
Galileo
Aqua Shuttle
7
was.
because it was the 7 passengers. That's what I took.
Yeah,
it as.
that's why I think that's
Well,
why
it does say
the show
it's
is-
/7 on the side, so I'm
it
guessing
does
it's
say
just like
/7
6,
on the
5,
side.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
It does have a 7. Yeah.
Yeah. But he did say that in the Omega Glory.
Maybe there were
They
some
mentioned
earlier
it.
shuttles that had been destroyed or been repurposed that had the earlier numbers on them.
Maybe there's only 4
The tail-
left.
The tail number might go with stay with the shuttle.
Oh, I see that. All across Starfleet, there's 30 of them, and they just have to have number 7.
Could be.
Little 3.
Sure.
Well, it did say 17017, so we assume that they were at least 9 to the Enterprise.
Yeah.
And of
Nerds.
course, there's always the
Nerd
chance that
stuff.
the script writer just didn't, you know what I mean? There was no continuity there. So
Yeah, I don't think anybody thought of it. I think they put the 7 on there because of the name of the episode, and that was 7 people on board, and that was
And they had the stencil left over from 17701. They just
There you go.
Here's the
Yeah.
second.
Yeah.
and they were on their way to Alpha Centauri to retire.
there you go.
That's fine.
There
I'm
it
gonna
is.
The
share
slab.
some more slides.
Slab.
All that potential.
And see what's on the slab.
Why don't you click through the rest of these slides? There's plenty of time. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. This is
No, we're further along than that now.
we're really close. We're really close. We're about
Between Earth and high def. And the
$10,000 away. Yeah. So video walls. So it's like a volume wall. If you guys have watched any of the making of Mandalorian, a volume wall is what we're trying to do in the back is simulate other things. And volume walls are like television sets or computer monitors. They come in different resolutions. So the more dots, the tighter the resolution, the closer you can get to it before you start seeing the dots. And so we put an extra high goal out there. Why not for a high def video wall? Or maybe we wrap around and we do 2 walls, or a wall and a ceiling, or we do a wraparound experience out there at high def. That's this thing's been going along so well that we really love to pass video wall and move our way onto high def if we possibly can in the next few days. The push at the end.
Yeah, we still have some pieces of the Enterprise left.
There are one of the plaques. In fact, is it the next slide? Is it the next slide?
Let's see. Hang on one
Like
second.
I had prescience.
Prescience
No,
Yeah,
this,
not the next
this
slide.
one, I think it might be at the end, Ron.
at the end. Okay.
These are
These
great.
these are some great prints that
John Eves.
John
John
Eves did
Eves.
for us. He did some original artwork for us, and I mean
These are
original
awesome.
artwork. He drew.
See
he
the
drew
little
these.
bay? I'm talking
Yeah, see the
about.
little bays.
So cool.
He drew these. These are pencil on blackboard.
Look at the detail.
And yeah, he's amazing, and it's all hand drawn.
That's
There it
the
is.
one. Oh, there it was.
So that's a good place to stop. So
Going back.
Yep.
Sorry. Hang on.
All right.
Sorry, guys.
There you go.
There you go.
We're like back
So-
in elementary school trying to
Yeah.
do this thing.
So,
What was it? The slideshow.
John is willing to autograph these, so we've got them up on our site. You can download them digitally for a very low price, or John will autograph a print of any one of these for you if you like, or all 3. And we're selling the originals too, but I think those are all sold out already.
I think somebody bought those already. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's something that's we should mention. All these things we're talking about are add-ons. Kickstarter is a little clunky in that you've got to pick a tier first and then jump to the add-ons to get some of this cool stuff. But we have very low price tiers you can get in, and you then jump over to the add-ons, or you can get all of our swag on your tiers. So we've got hats and T-shirts and pins and a really cool patch drawn by Michael Kuda, and some really cool glassware. And every tier stacks on the one before it. So every time you go up a level, you get all the stuff that people before got.
Brian, turn around.
Oh, this is my demo shirt, and let me turn around. This is the back.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
So this is the actual T-shirt you will receive, and yes, we'll ask for sizes after the.
Someone's
the
asking
over.
for the website. I think it's on the.
Just go to these things. Just go to Kickstarter.com, and in the search put Galileo, and I guarantee it'll be the first thing that pops up.
Yeah. It'll pop us up. You
Okay,
got
so
like
now
39
jump.
hours.
Next slide.
Okay.
We'll show this. This is. I can't believe there's still a piece of this. There's still this plaque left. So the top one is a piece of the actual 11-foot model of the Enterprise that they shot in the 60s. During this first restoration of the 90s, they had to do some carving out around the nacelles to fit a new lighting system. And those pieces were scooped up and given to James Cawley, and James gave them to us, and we put them in this plaque. So this particular plaque has a piece of the original 11-foot Enterprise in it, and below it, that is a piece of the actual shuttle that was recovered when they restored that one in 0102.
Yeah,
and I think that's 6 inches on an edge, and there's still a few of these left as add-ons, surprisingly enough.
So that's a nice piece of history right there.
Yeah. This is the 11-foot model is a big deal, and to have some remnants of it and be able to own a piece of it is a big deal. Some people need to snack these up. What is there, 2 left?
I think there's 2. Yeah, I think there's 2 left. Yeah. And there's also a plaque of just the Galileo as well. If you want to get a piece of the Galileo. Yep.
Yeah, these are amazing things. Yeah. Real bits of history.
Like the Galileo might be the next slide. Is one? What's the next one?
That was the last one.
That's the last one. Okay.
If you go to the other slide deck I posted, Roy, there's the one that he's talking about of just the Galileo. There it is.
Oh yeah, yeah.
There you go.
Perfect.
Yeah, beautiful plaque work, gorgeous stuff.
Yeah, they look really nice. Somebody buy that one with both of them before I end up buying it, because I don't know.
Yeah.
Really nice job.
No, I got to draw the line somewhere.
Yeah, it's a one opportunity for that. No one will ever see something like that again. We were very lucky to have them too.
Yeah. So, if it wasn't for James,
all these perks are going to be rare unto themselves.
Yeah, they're one of a kind.
Yeah.
You know, basically, very rare.
Yeah, there's a strip this big of the Galileo, and that's all we're going to have. Oh, and this is the dedication plaque that Dave was just talking about.
Yep.
There it is.
There's the main one. Yeah.
Go ahead and flip back one to the one that shows the Wall of Fame in the room there. So the dedication plaque, that's the gold plaque that the folks who restored the ship and the folks that are senior officers in our stack of giveaways will be on that gold plaque in the room. And the Wall of Fame is for the crew members. So if you're a crew member, you're going to go on that great plaque on the Wall of Fame. However, we're going to send you a gold plaque, and you can go to the next one now. Okay. We're going to send you a gold plaque because nobody wants a gold plaque with somebody else's name on it. Your name will be on this gold plaque. We're going to modify the plaque so everyone gets one with their name on it. Even if you're on the Wall of Fame, you get a gold plaque with your name on it with the officer, with the admirals at the top. It'll be Admiral Crawley and Admiral Roddenberry, and those folks will be on the top, and your name will be amongst the officers, so you can have it in your home.
Yep, I don't think people. It's hard to understand how cool that tier is, and this is a great way of explaining it. You get to have that in your home, and whenever you would go to the Star Trek tour, you'll see your name up in the room. I mean, it's a great.
You tell your friends. Hey, look for my name. It's right there. And everyone's listed in the order they pledge. So I think we're gonna get a rush here at the end. So get in early, because the earlier you are, the higher up on the list you'll be.
Yep.
It's really great because you get a lot of stuff for that.
At that level. Yeah.
I mean, you get the hat, you get a shirt, you get a pin, you get a patch. What else is in there? Is the glasses in there? There's glasses in there. Yeah, it's some really neat stuff.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun designing these things and wanting to make, because we're fans, we wanted to make things that other fans would like. And
we
I feel
went right to the designers. I mean, this Michael Okuda designed this the ghost ship on the front of this T-shirt. That's a Michael Okuda design. The pin is a Darren Dockerman design. The glasses, we have the Galileo logo and this logo on it.
Yeah.
So these, this is not just stuff we hacked together. These are designed by
Mike did the patch, I think, too, right?
Mike did the patch.
Yeah. Mike did the patch. Beautiful work. Yeah.
The only thing I did was the hat. I just used the Galileo logo, so that was pretty easy.
Yeah, the glasses.
Now, do you have a choice of the hat if you get that $500 tier, or you get
Rizzo, I've been thinking about that, and I think maybe I will give everyone a choice of hats, because there's also an NCC 1701/7 hat, and they're two separate tiers. But everyone above that, we can give them a choice. We have to send them all surveys to find out what name find out what size T-shirt they wear or what name goes on the plaque. So we could ask them what hat you want too, because we'll just ring up the hat guy and say make this many of those. That's a good idea. I think we will do that.
Yeah, and the glasses are being done like the originals in, what do they call that? Gold
leaf.
Gold leaf. And so they're the real deal, not just like, these are going to be high quality glasses.
Dave, give us the story behind those glasses. There's more than just something that we came up with.
Right. Yeah. See this, and Brian was holding his up. These were reproductions done by Glenn Swanson, who reproduced a glass that Gene Roddenberry gave to staff and crew at a party, I think after the first.
Because it was the 60s and he was Gene Roddenberry. He gave away cocktail glasses as a creation.
Yeah. And Matt Jeffries did the artwork. So this is Matt Jeffries' artwork. And Glenn Swanson did an amazing job of reproducing these, and I love them. And so what we're doing is, in the same line, we're using the same glass. The same glass that Gene Roddenberry used is still made today by Libby, and this glass was done on it. Our glass will be on that same glass, and
with a Mike Okuda design.
With the Mike Okuda design and the Galileo insignia, and then and with the same gold leaf. And so it's a nice bit of faithfulness to history, and a really cool glass to own, I think. But I have a thing about glass.
Dave has a thing about glassware. As a matter of fact, on my boxes, oh, it's right here. Also, one of our add-ins. Oh, I should kneel on my microphone.
Oh, Tranya.
They're Tranya glasses.
Oh yeah, the Tranya glasses.
Yes.
Now,
so these are glasses that Dave made, and until now, were only available at the set tour. You had to buy them at the cash register at the set tour. But we're having a special deal where if you're at our tier, if you get a tier and add these on, we'll mail them to you. No, you can't get them online anywhere else. Only from the set tour, and there's a special deal just for the Galileo to have the Tranya glasses.
Those are really nice. Yeah, I have a set of those.
Yeah, and the glasses themselves are quite rare, extremely hard to find, and these are
nice black to them. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, faithful reproduction. So if you want to have a set and toast your friends or toast your favorite alien, that's a great thing to pick. Both proud of our ship.
Doug does that really well. Got to get him to do that Sunday.
Yeah.
He does the Baylock laugh really well.
We'll do that.
Yeah.
While we're talking glassware, we should talk about the beer glass. Rizzo, do you have the pizza party art handy by any chance?
Let me see if I got it. Hang on a second.
Another one of our really cool
there it is, Roy. That's it.
We're ridiculous.
There you go. So what we did was we decided to throw a pizza party in the recreation room on the set of the set tour. And as you probably know with Star Trek fans, the recreation room is just the briefing room redressed. So we're actually going to redress the briefing room as the recreation room for the first time ever, and have a pizza party with Darren and the Okudas and Drexler and Bijo Trimble. And you can come, have some pizza, chat with them. You'll never meet bigger Star Trek fans than those guys themselves. And we came up with this glass, which has the Mike Okuda patch on it. So you'll get a beer glass and some pizza and some great conversation. And that's another one of our add-ons.
That
It's
will
coming up.
be some really great conversations.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
We have an entire room of Star Trek's biggest nerds.
Yes.
I
Yes.
mean,
It doesn't
and I
get
don't
better.
mean the guest. I mean Darren and Mike and
Yeah,
Denise
yes.
and Hugo. You know,
It's gonna be. I mean, if you want to talk Star Trek, this is the room. And these are people who are such big fans, and they made Star Trek. It's going to be an amazing thing.
Just a couple of things. If you ever wanted to know why they did something on the special edition of the Blu-rays, Mike Okuda ran that. So you can ask Mike Okuda, why'd you do this with the Enterprise? And how'd you do that long shot of in a book time? And he's the guy. He has all those answers. And if you ever wondered what it's like to win an Academy Award, you can ask Doug Drexler. When was the last time you met an Academy Award winner?
right?
He'll be there too. Yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be great.
Yeah, and it's I'm excited about it. William Sotak was asking about. It looks like the Enterprise pieces are gone, but the combination one is there. I'm looking. I just pulled it up. There's 3 available. You have to pick a tier,
right?
And then once you pick a tier, there's a section called add-ons. Go to the add-ons, and it's down there. I just pulled it up. There's still 3 Galileo plaques, and then there are 3 that are the combination Enterprise and Galileo, and that's all there ever will. That's
all
it.
Ever going to be. It's
but
all
they are
materials used up. Yep.
You just got to do the stupid
gonna-
clunky Kickstarter thing.
And my I should mention that my buddy who's making the plaques and the gold plaques and the plaques with the Enterprise material on it is my friend Dave from Dave's Workshop. So if you have something you need plaqued, he's your man. He does.
Yeah, he's doing an amazing job for us with this. We really appreciate it. It's important to us that all this stuff be nice, cool things. You guys are helping us land the Galileo, but you're going to get cool stuff. We like cool stuff. Yeah. We're that
And I have
way.
to say, you guys have done an amazing job with this. I mean, the work and the effort that has been put into this, and just keeping this organized and keeping this as far as fan based. I mean, kudos to the both of you.
Well,
Oh,
we've got to mention Rizzo himself, Mike Rizzo.
Right there.
He's right there. He's been those little short, cute videos. He's been generating those.
If they're a silly video, I made.
And Alex, what's Alex's last name?
Isabel.
Alex Isabel.
No, it isn't. It's Commando.
Yeah, Alex has been our social media person, working every day, and it's an everyday event.
And going to college at the same time.
And going to college and finals. Yeah.
Yeah, she's been doing them. Mike has kicked out a lot of great videos for us. Some of the more fun ones that I've really enjoyed. The recent countdown one was hysterical.
Yeah.
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 And the one with the Galileo flare. And I mean, there's just a lot of great videos.
Oh, thanks.
It's really fun.
It's fun to do stuff like that where you can play around. And, I did advertising for so many years, and I got stuck at doing so many car ads and furniture ads, and nobody had any sense of, had any good sense of humor. I had a couple clients that did it.
Again, I forgot to mention 10 a.m. Sunday morning East Coast time is when we're starting our telethon. So it's on our Facebook page, and so you can find the links there, or Sci-Fi Distilled. The links will be there too, to watch us count down with all those fun folks.
We decided against doing it all night, and that's very
yeah. Let's start tomorrow at noon. What do you say?
Yeah.
And all night long, and then blurry red-eyed in the morning.
We tried to get Jerry Lewis, but no.
Yeah. We voted that down for some reason.
Yeah.
If you were thinking about it.
Yeah, well, that's where it came from, was the thought of doing a telethon-like ending to it, and having some fun with it. Yeah. So there was some joking about that.
That would have probably sent me back into some kind of PTSD moment, because not to downplay that, but I worked for PBS for a long time, and I used to do those live pledge drives. They were nightmares, because I used to work all day, every day for like a month.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't
Yeah.
stop.
I'd love that if someone could pledge on Sunday and then like Doug could pick up the phone.
The phone lines are open. Get your tote bag. Don't miss out on the tote bag.
They will respond to the comments on the right-hand side, so it's almost as good.
Yeah. So you guys can kind of do it. If you pledge and tell us you pledge, then we'll have somebody cool call you out.
Yeah.
That's
absolutely cool. That'll be great. Yeah. It would be great to have them sitting there with phones and the little like
communicators.
Communicators, yeah, there you go. Yeah.
You're on
the
communicators.
It's been an experience doing this, and we've got more work to do because the building's going to be going. We're working on the plans for how it gets built, and the video wall, and even things. This gets back to, I don't know how people moved this gypsy thing around, because we have serious discussions about how to move it from the workshop to the building carefully, and it's not a joke. And this thing ran around like crazy. It's good. The day we move, it's gonna be a great day because we're gonna parade this thing right down Main Street in Ticonderoga, because the shop is at one end of the town and the set tours at the other end of the town, and we're gonna close the street and trailer it right down Main Street. But like the Model T, it won't fit through the garage doors with the nacelles on. So we've got to take them off, roll it out of the building, and then we have to roll it into the new building and then put them back on, because they won't go through either set of doors with the nacelles on. And we're still working out how we're going to do that.
did not take moving it into account.
They put wheels on it. It has wheels.
Yeah, there are wheels. Yeah. You can roll it in and out. They can roll it in and out of the set, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is a monstrosity. I mean,
it's
what it weighs altogether, but it's a lot. Yeah.
You won't really, until you see it. And again, this is supposed to be 3/4 scale roughly or something like that. And it's huge.
Yeah, it's big.
Yeah, it's going to be stunning, and people will get to see it fairly close up. They're going to be right there in front of it, and it's going to be gorgeous that way. Yeah, and then they're working on some interior, and Jim Payne was able to verify, because there was a lot of controversy over was there an interior or wasn't there, and Jim Payne interviewed someone who saw the Galileo when it arrived directly from the studio to the School for the Blind, and there was some kind of console in it, and it had chairs.
Yeah, they did enough so that when those doors open, it looked finished on the inside. That was, you know what I'm saying? But what you saw on the show, it was a set. Anything on the interior was a set.
Well, I know in the Galileo 7 episode, there's that to your point, when the doors open, you can see Yeoman Mears. She's actually sat
with this much room over her head. She's sitting down.
Yeah, but then when they're doing the interior shots, like McCoy and whoever else come back from some back room, that's it's like there's another 3 rooms behind where
like how did that happen?
It's just kind of funny. It's like spatially, it doesn't fit, but yeah, they did enough. Doors open, you could see something in there.
Hey.
Barry Kaye's the maker of the model I was holding up earlier.
Yeah, James has plans to do it. He does have one of those original chairs, which were made for the show. From what I understand, those were not found objects, so they weren't a production chair for something else. They made those for the show. So he's going to have some more made off of that one, and then maybe have them.
Yeah, there's in Adam's pile of stash of stuff that he sent us. He has pictures of the blueprints that were drawn to make the chair.
Yeah.
And they had a really cool Galileo logo they never used on it too. We should make a flyer with that on it. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But so the chairs were made to be bolted in Galileo because they won't stand on their own if they're not bolted down.
No, they will not. You can't.
Like a movie theater seat. Yeah. Yep.
And it's fun too because like they would rotate and talk to the people. They were on like some kind of rotating something.
Just want to say hi to Bill. is out there. He said, I'm pretty sure that Galileo's swing scanner is repurposed something. I used to have a lamp that was quite similar. Always wondered if it was simply a painted mid-century lamp.
Probably was.
Probably.
He kind of in this episode, Kirk turns it like he's looking, like he's focused on it.
The scanner.
Yeah, he does rotate it.
Yeah.
Oh, and James has identified pretty much all the instruments that were in the panel because they're all aircraft instruments. So he's digging those up. So we're gonna have a pretty accurate panel in the front of it. So when you walk up to it and look through the door, you'll be able to see the interior as if it were real. Yes. Well, it will be real, but probably slightly smaller than the original.
Full shrunk down. Right?
Yeah.
Just want to say hi to Dennis Chevalier. He's joining us from Canada, and he also commented. He said, "I'd love the phaser rack loaded with phasers."
Oh, I know.
Right?
Yeah, that was every fan's dreams. Like, look at all those phasers.
All the phasers.
Yeah.
Had its own little armory.
Yeah.
Everybody needs that armory. Yeah, it's just important.
You know, I just thought of something, and I should have grabbed the photo, and I didn't think of it earlier. But I'm going to do the Space 1999 Star Trek connection. Nick Tate was invited to a Star Trek convention in August of '76, and they actually had a mock-up of the interior of the Galileo. And then you have Nick in his uniform as Alan Carter that he brought from the set they were shooting. Yeah. And he's actually sitting in the Galileo, and he's like looking up, and there's a couple photos of him. So
he was in his spacesuit, or
he was in
the gray
regular uniform, on the Alpha uniform, but not the spacesuit. But the fact is that he was in the Galileo, though. I thought that was kind of cool.
That kind of reminds me when we had Gary Lockwood and Keir Delay, and we have a picture of them sitting at the helm and nav on the end of the house.
That was a great.
There you go, crossing the streams again.
Yeah.
So Brian and I found these T-shirts. These T-shirts are 35 years old, and they're from 1991 when the Galileo was in Ohio. There was a woman who owned it that was trying to do a restoration. I forget her name. I actually scored this baby on eBay. It's ridiculous. Yeah. This shirt's older than any of my
everything on eBay.
It's cool.
Yep.
I know eBay is okay.
Dennis, that phaser rack, I was thinking we'd love to reproduce that, but you can't because the way that tilts, it would tilt outside of the spaceship.
Right. Yeah.
There's no way to reproduce it.
You could
look at that shot.
There you go. Look at that.
Wall inside and do it.
That's a great shot.
Look at that.
Actually, Rizzo, we could just have it back there open all the time.
Yeah, you could do that.
Just don't close it. Yeah.
Look at that. They use the Burke chairs. What is it?
Sorry.
The Burke chairs with the arms on it.
Try it again. There we go.
Crossing streams in the best way.
There you go.
Great.
Okay, yeah.
It's actually not a bad reproduction of the console. I mean, from what I can tell, it's
got that bumpy thing on the wall. They just stuck up there to have something on the wall.
Yeah.
You're right. Click on the color one. That's just to the
this one.
Right to the left of the big one.
Oh, this one. Yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is hilarious.
And then they had something
Trek 1999.
That must have been a long. He's young there, very young.
Well, it was August of '76.
Okay, so that makes sense. So he just finished. He was just still working on the show, or
they were doing the second series right in the middle of it.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, he was a pilot.
Yeah, but and it was a Star Trek convention, so there was the connection.
Yeah, that's great. Fun stuff. I love it. Crossing streams, man. It's good.
And here's another, actually.
Nope, that's it today. Kind of stretched out.
That's from the day I think we brought it in there.
Yeah. Not on the day we washed it. One of those two.
Oh yeah, one of those.
Yeah.
Gave it a bath.
Yeah, the nacelles are off right now while we there's a few bumps and cracks on it from being on the back of a semi-truck across the country 4 or 5 times. So it needs a little bit of the TLC.
Needs a little TLC, but not bad. Just a little hanger rash.
Yeah, hanger rash. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a picture.
Yeah, it's a great shot. That was a great moment when we unwrapped her and see her. Yeah, it was crazy. Big. It's just big.
Yeah.
It was. You were there, Dave, too. The day that came up from Houston.
Yeah.
And we were unwrapping it there. That was pretty for us, at least for me, because I'd never seen it. So it was. I mean, I had seen it, but I was never able to like literally touch the thing.
The funny / tragic thing about it being in Houston is, like I said, they moved it to the lunchroom.
Yeah.
And because they put there's still stickers stuck on the nacelles to say, please do not climb or sit on the shuttlecraft. It kind of takes away from the whole suspension of disbelief when you see the no kids sit here sign. So those have to come off.
Yeah. Sad bit of history with it being climbed on. I mean, it's a valuable piece of history. We're going to get it back to that where it's
From what I understand, a lot of the guy that told them to get rid of it was the director or something of Houston, but a lot of the staff, because we know Doc Alexander, who is a flight surgeon for NASA, they were very upset that he wanted it out of there. So the staff was not happy that they were losing it, but I think a lot of them agree that it's probably where it's going is its best resting place.
Yeah.
I like to say the shuttle's been waiting for us to build this building all these years.
Yeah. I mean, to me, the only place that would be as at least appropriate would be at the Air and Space Museum with the original model. But Smithsonian didn't want it; was too big.
They have no place to put it either.
Yeah.
They should send the model to the tour.
I was just at the giant annex off the airport, named after a guy whose name I can never remember. Paul Garber? No, Garber's the guy that invented the place. Anyway, they have a completely restored B-17 in pieces parked to the side because they have no place to put it.
Yeah.
They have no room. They have that giant facility. They're going to add a whole back annex on the back of the annex to fit more stuff because they have so many planes. So there's no room for shuttlecrafts.
Yeah, if you ever, the Air and Space Museum is amazing in and itself.
Yeah,
there is I'm pretty sure they have a 7. They don't have a 17 there. Maybe they don't. It's too big. I know there's one in Savannah. There's the 50. What are they called? The Fighting 51st or something like that. Anyway, it's an Air Force museum. They have a B-17G fully restored.
Yep. They have one in pieces waiting to go on display when they have space for it. But they have a B-29 there on display, but not a 17.
Well, the 29 is even bigger.
Yep.
Yeah, they take up a lot of room. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the last time I was actually at the Air and Space Museum. I think actually it was in '86. It's been almost 4 years.
That's probably
was the Enterprise in the gift shop, or was it still hanging from the ceiling? When
it was hanging.
I thought it was hanging from the ceiling.
Okay. Yeah.
It was.
When I went, actually,
I've been there probably around that era, Roy. I was last time I was there. I was in college.
I did a trip with. I drove up with my grade school friend Vince, and what we did was did it in one day. Drove like 4.5 from here, probably about 4.5 hours to get up there, and we were there for maybe about 4 hours, and then drove back. But it was so cool to see that. But yeah, to your point though, it was hanging
from the ceiling, and you can walk up the stairs and see the top of it.
It's an amazing place. It really is one of
history.
All of the Smithsonian's amazing. So and it's still free, I think, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Of course.
Well, you've already paid for it, Rizzo.
Yes, you paid for it with your
Yeah.
Bill said he was there for this Star Trek 25th anniversary show.
Oh,
so
I missed that show.
That was when 91 then.
91, yeah.
So that's when it got restored when Ed did it.
Yeah, Ed Meyericke. Yeah.
Where the pieces came from.
I haven't seen the latest incarnation. I saw when it hung from the ceiling.
Yeah.
I was in the 70s, I guess.
Yeah.
And then the gift shop one where it was in the case with Ed Meyericke. I haven't seen the latest.
Yeah. I saw it when I was a kid in the 70s when it was.
Well, you got to come back out. I see it all the time.
Definitely. It's a thing. I got to go back.
I live 10 miles north of DC, so I'm right.
Yeah, I mean,
it's right there. Yeah.
Oh, you're
heck,
right
if
there.
I had known the whole cast of Firefly was going to be at AwesomeCon, if I had known like months prior, I probably would be doing this from.
And that's 15 minutes from here. Yeah.
Well, you need to go.
Yeah. I've been to AwesomeCon, and it's not. It's
not. I don't care what. All I want to do is the whole.
It's such an anime show.
Yeah,
you're missing the point. The whole pass of Firefly.
Yeah, Firefly will be it. Yeah, it's people say fandom is graying and it's getting older, and who's going to continue fandom? All these kids who are in anime, that show is huge.
Oh, the anime stuff.
No fandom. It's just a little bit different.
It's unbelievable. Yeah. I did a couple of shows up in Canada, and they did one that was just an anime, and I don't recognize any of what they're dressed as.
Nope. Go to the dealer's room. It's like, I don't know what any of this is. Now I know how my dad felt.
Yeah. So, but I was amazed at how many people came,
Yeah.
And the elaborate costumes, they put a lot of work into it, just like they do with any fandom. But I was blown away. So.
Yeah. It's kind of scary when you start feeling like your parents had felt,
Yes. Oh, that's what you meant. No,
it's always scary when you do that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm aware of what anime is. I just don't know. I don't watch it, so I don't know what the
I know what it is.
Characters are. They all look the same to me. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds really old, right? Old man, old man shakes fist at cloud.
Those kids and their sci-fi shows.
I don't know.
So. Yeah, the big 6-0 is coming 4 months from now. God help me.
Yeah. I'm a year behind you.
No.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. I always felt in alignment with Star Trek, at least, but yeah, it's crazy.
So, were any of you aware of the original run of Star Trek?
No, I don't know.
No, I started watching it I think it was around 72. My aunt introduced me to Star Trek because she had a thing for William Shatner, but she loved it in the 60s, and she's my aunt Franny, my mom's sister, is 79. So, and I remember her telling me the story. She wanted to see A Shot in the Dark because it was on Broadway, and that was in 64. William Shatner was in that with, I think, Julie Harris, and my mom remember telling my grandmother said that my aunt was like too young to go see that because of her age and everything. But yeah, I think it was 72, 73. What about Brian, Dave, Mike, Marybeth?
I vaguely remember the original show, my bedtime was halfway through the show, so my dad would fill me in on what happened afterwards, which is basically Captain Kirk saved the day and everybody's fine. And then, okay.
Yeah, it was.
He left out the part with the women he slept with.
I was a baby when it went off the air. So even if my dad was watching it, which he wasn't, because my father did not watch science fiction, so I know it was not on in my house. I watched it the same way James watched it as I was a kid, and even though I lived in Southern Connecticut, where we were close to New York City, where we could pick up a lot of New York stations, we didn't have cable, so we got ABC, CBS, NBC, PBS, and the two independent stations, which was a lot for people. One of them being channel WPIX channel 11, and they would show Star Trek, I think, like 5 o'clock every day or something like that. And they do show like Star Trek and then Lost in Space, or Lost in Space then Star Trek. So it was something on television that wasn't on the networks, which was talk show or something like that. Yeah. So you watched it because it was on TV.
Yeah, Lost in Space. I remember clearly seeing that show when it was first run. That was make a point in the television for watching Lost in Space. Yeah,
Star Trek was, and it's funny as a kid you didn't realize that. You always seemed watching it. Always seemed this is a really old show. When realistically, it was less than 10 years since it had gone off the air. I mean, I was watching it in the early 70s, probably when I was 67. So I was probably like 7 or 8. So it was like 73, 74 watching it. Yeah. The show had only been off the air for 5, 6 years.
The club I belonged to in San Diego was called STAR, which stood for the Star Trek Association for Revival. Because it was a group getting together to try to get Star Trek back on the air.
Yeah,
for those.
There was an older kid that lived down the street that was an absolute Star Trek nut. I just remember going and seeing his bedroom, and he had a big Spock poster, that famous Spock poster where he's holding the phaser. And I just remember seeing that, but he was like everything. He was big on Star Trek. Yeah. So that was always a connection there.
I did not know that Star Trek was in color for a while because we had a black and white TV. Yeah. And so I only saw it in black and white. It wasn't until my parents saved up their money and bought a color television that we knew. And then the other thing was that some episodes were not favored. You know, growing up in Texas and the broadcast was from Dallas. Plato's Stepchildren, yeah, that wasn't being shown.
No.
Can I just tell you, I hate that episode.
What's that?
That is probably one of the episodes that I hate the most. That one. The only thing I like about that is at the very end when he's says, Alexander, come over here, and it's like he's getting him off that planet. And then the other one that I can't stand is the Mark of Gideon. I love that episode too. But.
Yeah, I don't like any show. There's some not great episodes. I mean,
it's just the way it
is. The alternative factor. Oof.
Yeah.
That was the most, and even as a kid, I realized that was the most non-Star Trek or un-Star Trek episode of them all. To me,
if you've read any of these are the Voyagers books, you'll know that was thrown together.
It seemed more like a Lost in Space episode.
It got butchered because it was supposed to go in one direction, to Brian's point, and what happened was, like, even with Lieutenant Masters, there was supposed to be a relationship between her and the one Lazarus, and she was, and that's why she's even wearing the blue. You know, they put her in engineering, but that was all last minute script changes and everything, and she was.
That show was doomed. Yeah, and the
really
actor got sick, so they had another guy like a day before.
Yeah,
glued a bunch of stuff on his face. Yeah, it was bad.
See, back in those days, we could forgive these episodes because we had 27, 29 of them.
Right.
Yeah.
Now we get 10, and we get 3 of them that are garbage. So feel like we got ripped off.
You're being kind.
Yeah, well, I'm being kind. Yeah. Well, certain shows, they're all 10 of them are.
Yeah.
I won't mention this.
Well, it'll be interesting to see because we're going back into the desert. It was 10 years between the original series and the motion picture, and now there's no more Star Trek in production. So it'll be interesting to see what happens and how many years it's going to be.
I think they could let things air out a little.
I think I agree with Dave.
I think they should.
I think they need to. I think they need to
time for a break.
Yeah.
Someone needs a break.
Yeah.
But your earlier comments about it's amazing, and it's something I talk a lot about on this show, is that when you think about the time, for example, with Space Seed, when it was 1967, 1982 with Star Trek 2, and then Kirk even says, when he's telling the story about Khan, 15 years then, oh my God, it felt like a lifetime. Because in essence it was. I mean, as far as in regards to our ages and everything, but now it's like 15 years. That's nothing. It's just crazy, the perception of time, how it changes the older you get.
Yeah, what is that?
Yeah,
well, even like you look at Star Wars. What was the last Return of the Jedi? Was what
83?
Was that right?
Yeah,
it was a fairly long run. It was like so to 98, right? Was Phantom Menace?
Yeah.
So there was quite a long run there too.
And and kids today throw Star Wars, Empire, and Jedi in an hour apart, right? Now we had to wait 3 years.
Yeah, exactly.
3 years.
I remember that. Oh God, watch and you didn't even have the a recording of the VHS tape or something to watch.
Right.
The old movies you had to. There was if you were lucky, you might have been able to rent it, but that one wasn't even available. Star Wars wasn't. I remember even available for rental. It was.
I want to say 90.
It was. Yeah. I remember somebody had a bootleg of it. A friend of mine in high school had a bootleg of it.
Yeah, for me back in the day, in the 70s especially, it was getting my Panasonic tape recorder out, putting it up against the television, and just recording those episodes. And some of those I still actually have to this day, like the Star Treks, the Space 1999.
Yeah, I used to do that with the auto recordings. Yeah,
I have an audio recording of the second time I saw Star Wars in a theater in 1977. But I cannot. It's lost. I can't find it, which is a shame because you can hear what all the laughs were because there were big laughs in Star Wars.
Yeah,
back in
yeah.
the day. Yeah.
Yeah. Into the garbage chute fly. I remember talking about that friend that had that bootleg. I remember there was a party at his house. This is in high school. And he was playing, and he had one of those little TVs. I didn't know the thing was like this big, but it was a little TV. And he was playing it on this thing. And this party's going on around me, this high school party with beer and kegs. And I'm just sitting there on the couch watching stuff. Because I was like, how did you get this? This was like, it was like, because you couldn't watch it unless it was in the theater. So yeah, I remember just sitting there. Well, that's me, high school party animals.
We used to record on portable reel-to-reels.
Well, that's going way back.
Yeah, I had the cassette tapes.
I used to drive my father nuts if you try to do it like when he's watching TV, because you're like, you're trying to pause it during the commercials,
right?
And then he'd start talking because he's just like, shut up.
I know. I would beg my parents, you can't talk while I'm recording. Please don't, don't talk, because I don't have to listen.
My dad was having none of that. Oh God, really? Because we only had the one TV, like most people. We had that console, like the Zenith or whatever it was.
Yeah, that's what we had.
The big wooden.
It was a
console television, 25-inch,
25-inch chromachrome.
And I remember. Remember when that TV finally died? It was my dad doesn't throw it. He threw because the chassis used to come out as one slide right out. The whole TV mechanism.
Yeah, so you could change the tubes and they're bad. Yeah,
I remember taking it to the dump and we threw it down into the like a compactor thing. And we watched the thing explode when it hit the bottom. But he kept the cabinet and he put a shelf in it. And he used it as a printer stand until the day he died.
But those things were
had that. It wasn't a nice piece of furniture. It was all solid oak and everything. So he's like, I'm going to throw that away. So he put a shelf where the TV was, and he made a printer stand out of it.
That's fun.
Yeah. I remember when the TV repairman used to come and they, like you said, and they take the screws out and they pull that out. And
Radio Shack had the tube tester.
Tube tester.
That was another thing. My dad, he didn't know how to fix. He was an engineer. He didn't know how to fix a TV, so he went to the library because he wasn't going to pay somebody to do it. Look out books on television repair, read them, and then for days he'd be laying behind that television. And then we'd go to Radio Shack and he'd be testing tubes.
When Radio Shack,
I don't think he ever fixed it.
Hee-haw. Oh boy.
You're gonna watch what's the other one? The old fart show that it was just the musical thing they always showed on PBS. I can't think of it.
Yeah, wonderful.
Yeah, wonderful. What was that guy?
It's right on the tip of my tongue.
Oh my God, what is it? I'm having a total freeze. He was the band director, and they always had those like really home.
Lawrence Welk.
Oh, a two.
So that's another drama from PBS because we used to run that every Saturday night. Lawrence Welk show, and they wouldn't pledge around it because they know the old folks always gave us money, so they wouldn't pledge. They would just run, and we'd have people calling and thinking that he was still alive and they were making shows because they used to. What PBS did is they take all the shows and they would re-edit them together, like different. They take
okay.
Up, so it looked like a different show, but it was just bits and pieces, and people thought he was still alive making shows. Like, no, he's been dead for like 10 years, and this is in the 90s.
Yeah, I was going to say he died a long time ago.
Yeah,
I remember my grandfather used to love to watch him.
Lawrence Welk, Bubbles. Yeah, my grandmother loved it. It was that.
And if you were hip, you watched Donnie Vinton, or Bobby Vinton, or you watched
Bobby Vinton. Oh, jeez.
I remember Bobby Vinton.
Wow. Well, we're going to start to wind down. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the shout outs real quick and then come back and we'll just do a quick wrap up just to remind everybody of in regards to the Kickstarter and everything. So I'm going to try to breeze through these relatively quickly. So let me do this really quick. All right. And I have you up first. So again, this Sunday, March 15th, 10 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And that's going to be, just make sure I got everything in regards to the project.
It'll be on YouTube and on Facebook, so whichever you pleasure. And then, of course, if you go to the Galileo Facebook page, I think the links are there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can, the direct links.
Okay, awesome. And then I want to give a shout out to the Star Trek 60th anniversary celebration coming up June 25th to 28th. And there's going to be a whole array of guests. Marybeth, did you want to say anything about that?
No, just the tickets are on sale now on our website, and they are going fast. I believe the Admiral's packages are either completely sold out or there's like 1 or 2 left. So if you're interested in coming, jump in and get your tickets now and get your lodging now.
That's how I got started. I went through Admiral's Day, the first one with Shatner, and look at me now. So
tried to get out and we pulled him back.
Never be the same.
Hold 'em back.
It's a bit of a black hole.
They really
Yeah.
do.
Once you cross the event horizon, you're stuck.
And then the celebration of the landing of the shuttlecraft Galileo. Now, we're looking at the 18th through the 20th.
That's correct.
Okay, for the celebration. And we'll be more about that. That's a little bit more in September, but we'll circle back. I want to give a quick shout out to my friend Bill Scarrato at Country Gate Playhouse. Country Gate is in Belvedere, New Jersey. So if you're in that area, definitely check out Country Gate. They're doing the Miracle Worker. It's 2 weekends, the 18th and 19th of April, 25th and 26th. Country Gate's website, www.countrygate.org. And then check out Bill's website at www.billscarrato.com. Also, Abnormal Fixation is in its second season, and episode 5 was just dropped. It's Volatile Memory. If you haven't had the opportunity to check out Abnormal Fixation, this is John Kenneth Muir's web-based show. It is doing amazing. It is a lot of fun. It is drama. It's comedy, and highly recommend folks to check it out. And then also our friend Captain Phil from Captain Phil's Planet. Captain's schedule is for WUSB 90.1 FM, Stony Brook, New York. Thursdays 4 to 5 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Friday nights 10 to 11:30 Eastern Daylight Time, and then except on the 4th Friday of each month. And then I want to give a shout out to my friend Warren and I are doing Space 1999 this episode. We dropped the 6th episode back on March 1st. We were doing the 2nd season now, and that was the Tabor. You can watch this on YouTube as well as Facebook. And it's Space 1999, this episode. And then in regards to 1999, the Manchester 1999 convention is September 11th, 12th, and 13th. Website, www.space199950years.com. Also, right as far as guests, Nick Tate is confirmed, Anton Phillips, Suzanne Peterson, also Carolyn Seymour. There's the Star Trek connection right there. And then there's also going to be other guests that'll be attending virtually. In fact, Lisa Harrow has just confirmed in regards to virtual appearance, and Yasuko Nakazumi, she will also be there virtually as well. So mark your calendars for that. Also want to give a shout out to my son, Ryan. He has a website which is run by Ryan, Empower Your Run. He is an online coach service provider. There is no fee for registering for Ryan's website. It is www.runbyryan.com. But should you choose to use him as an online coach, there are different tiers and levels, and there are prices associated with that. Definitely check it out. He's very passionate about his running, and he will definitely be great as a coach. Also, shout out to my friend and my co-host, Mr. Ross Amico. Ross has 3 shows that he does on kwax.uoregon.edu. Picture Perfect, Fridays, 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Sweetness and Light, Saturdays at 11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And The Lost Chord, which is on Saturdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And also Ross says to say hi to everybody, too. He couldn't be here tonight. And Ross and I will be back next Friday. We are going to be doing our 297th episode, which is going to be Battle Beyond the Stars. And that'll be next Friday. And then also on the 22nd, I'm going to be episode 298. Going to be having John Kenneth Muir on with members of the cast of Abnormal Fixation to talk about the show. And that'll be on the 22nd, which incidentally is William Shatner's 95th birthday coming up. So it's, God bless him. He is amazing, as we all know. That it will be next Sunday. And then for our episode 299, which is going to be the following Friday, which is March 27th, 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, in honor of William Shatner's 95th birthday and what would have been Leonard Nimoy's 95th birthday on the 26th of March, we are going to discuss our favorite Kirk and Spock episodes. So that'll be on Friday, the 27th. And then the big one will be the week of Friday, or the April 3rd. April 3rd is actually going to be the excuse me, it should be 2026. April 3rd will be actually the 6th year anniversary of this show. First date for premiering was on April 3rd. And that is going to coincide with our 300th episode, and it will be 6 years of this. So got a lot of stuff, planned for that, and very excited about that as well. And that is it for right now. So anyway, just circling back in regards to the comments, Dennis Chevalier just commented. He said, "I just ordered the Galileo shuttle Polar Lights model kit. Got the itch to build it really well."
It's a nice kit. They have an interior for it too, I believe. You can buy
Yes,
it.
they do.
Very cool. And Bill said, "Thank you for all the effort, LLAP, and
May the force
be with you.
Always.
So I just want to thank everybody for coming on tonight. This was great. And again, you got what you are all doing is amazing. So it's going to be a really incredible Sunday. And if you haven't been up to Ticonderoga, folks, this is just another reason to go up there. And if you are thinking about contributing to this and you haven't already, please just, anything that you contribute will help towards the goal.
That's the truth. Yep.
There's a lot of tiers. Anything helps. Yeah.
And if you've already contributed,
find the one that
our
fits
last
you.
push. So share the link.
Yeah. We're
yeah.
doing well.
Good point.
Yeah.
If you every share helps us out a lot.
Yeah. Just put one of our posters or one of Rizzo's silly videos up on your YouTube page or on your Facebook page, please.
Yes,
share. And it really helps. Someone hears about it and they pledge. Yep.
Yeah. So we'll see you Sunday though, with some great guests. So if you don't tune in for that, that's going to be
it's going to be some really good guests. Yeah, some good stuff.
Interesting conversation.
Definitely.
We have some West Coasters who are braving the early morning to be with us.
Oh, that's right. The 3-hour time difference. Yeah,
they have to get up a little early.
Yeah, we're very appreciative. Yeah.
So. All right. Until then, thank you again. And thank you, folks, for tuning in. We really appreciate it. Please, again, make sure to like and share, and then also share about Project Galileo 7. Take care, everybody. Thanks.
Bye-bye.